to get recognition from
photos
press and editorials, like with stylists and well-known stylists.
Yeah, you should be an art director. You know, you should be. I would do 2 careers at once. You know, like do this, but use this as your resume for other people to see your work, and like do music videos, do fashion films for Essence. You know, something like that. Like my major piece of advice is do 6 projects at one time. You know, this is like one. You should be doing 5 other things. Otherwise, you're not doing anything, or you're limiting your opportunity.
It's a lot of projects, but let's do it. So, in this video, we'll be covering 3 rules to expand your creativity. Starting with rule number 1, do 6 projects at a time. But wait, I actually forgot to introduce this guy, the one from the intro. He's in the thumbnail and is kind of the whole point in this video. If you didn't know him already, his name is...
I'm not anything, I'm just creative.
Please welcome Virgil Abloh.
Fashion designer, architect, and entrepreneur Virgil Abloh.
Virgil Abloh.
Menswear designer Virgil Abloh.
What up? One of the most ubiquitous names in fashion and design, Virgil's skill set ran deep across many creative disciplines. He was a designer, an artist, a DJ, and navigated all these outlets through his unique lens from architecture school. This not only served him with his brand Off-White, but in cross-disciplinary collaborations with Nike, IKEA, Vitra, and many other household names. So, how do we pick 6 projects to work on? 6 times more things. Well, let's start with project number 1, defining my brand. AKA MG Studio, a username you see on all my social media platforms, and I'm constantly updating and redefining what I want my brand, practice, studio really is and what it stands for. And one thing every brand needs, a good typeface logo. I actually already have a personal portfolio site that I use to display my design work, but I wanted to make one specifically for my design practice that I'm starting as a young designer. One that's radically different from how I've been showing my design work up until now. Usually portfolios are long pages where you scroll past endless sketches, renders, text, mood boards, and a bunch of visual stuff. But then I started to think, what if instead everything was a video? And it's all thanks to Virgil.
I think that you should force yourself to never do still images. Or if you do stills, there's stills from video. When you take a still image and you try to evoke emotion, what you described in your video is like, that's it. You know, that's what the most progressive are doing in film.
So my idea here is having the landing page be this video of all my projects and kind of YouTube stuff. And then once you get to the projects, they're going to be gifts. So you have Lantern, which I did last year. And then there's 2 other products that I'm planning on making this year. So stay tuned for that. So I want these thumbnails to be gifs, either of the product showing a certain feature, or maybe they're just rotating. And what I love about gifs and videos is that, you know, design is so dynamic, right? We use it, we interact with it, touch it, feel it. And sometimes I feel like stills don't do that justice. And I'm really trying to tie this into the idea of MG Studio being a design practice with 2 deliverables, a video and a product. Instead of treating my videos as just a promo device for my design work, why not lean into it more? Why not make it a part of my brand? Okay, so while he's working on that, let's go to rule number 2, finding your signature.
Like, what's my DNA? What I would challenge you in your work, no matter what, is go back. Go back to when you were your earliest memories, or the way that you thought to organize something, the way you thought to organize your closet, or what colors were your favorite. Back in that sort of early rationale before you sort of learned too much. That's when your DNA started.
Which leads me to project 3, aka YouTube. After going back and looking at all the things I was into when I was younger, I realized what my DNA is. It was Lego stop motion, whiteboard animation, learning to film with a camera for the first time, making videos for almost all my projects in design school, and now YouTube. I realized that I've always been fascinated with storytelling, and now as a designer, telling the story of design through filmmaking, videos, and YouTube is not just something I should lean into, but embrace as a part of my signature. And speaking of videos, let's move on to project number 4, the IG, aka Instagram. So when you click on my account, my profile is pretty similar to my Reels version. It's actually identical, but I wanted to connect my profile more to my personal brand, sharing more process, behind the scenes, documentation that's separate from my short form content. So to start this project, I'm gonna remove a bunch of things, actually everything from my profile grid. And now I'm going to post these animations I was sketching as part of the foundation I'm building for my brand. Okay, last but not least, rule number 3, the 10% rule.
What I'm basically saying is still images from a moving video. That's your photograph. To me, it's gonna be like a 10% difference anyways, unless you come up with something. You should prove me wrong, unless you come up with say it was this splice thing, that's cool, but if you make this amazing video and I watch the video and my takeaway is oh, these stills from that communicate that, then it's amazing.
And what stuck out to me about this exchange was Virgil's line, if it's only a 10% difference. And I started to apply this thinking to all my other projects. Take project 5 for example. I was inspired by this photo shoot of Virgil by Mark Borthwick in Hypebeast issue 20. And for the thumbnail and promo for this video, I wanted to mirror some of my favorite compositions. Now, while I had a black undershirt, my jean jacket wasn't blue. But then I remembered the 10% rule and Virgil's words.
For everyone watching this and looking at their own brand, put yourself in a box. Force yourself to be using limited tools.
And while I don't have a blue jean jacket, I do have Photoshop. After all, it's only a 10% difference. Now, I don't claim to be an expert on Virgil by any means. I never had the chance to meet him. I'm not a fashion designer, and I'm not starting a fashion brand. But the cool thing is, that was kind of Virgil's point. Virgil himself never went to fashion school or got a degree, and instead defined himself by figures and other creative fields.
More than anything, I feel like I'm a descendant of, everyone from Pharrell Williams to Basquiat or Warhol. I'm no one, sort of, as the first statement.
And I think seeing someone like Virgil align himself with figures and movements that go beyond fashion is so liberating to where I can feel like I can pull from my own unique pool of inspirations across design, art, music, culture, even anime and manga that have and will continue to shape me as a designer, storyteller, or insert title here. And the beauty of Virgil's talks, interviews, and lectures is that they're all free on YouTube. Virgil was a huge proponent of education and making it accessible for young Black designers, people of color, and those from non-traditional backgrounds. And while he sadly isn't physically here with us anymore, I still feel his legacy touching so many creative souls today. So to Virgil, this is a tribute to you and your beautiful creative philosophy. Thank you for the Harvard lecture, thank you for the interviews, and thank you for truly living each day. And if you're watching this video, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
life is so short that you can't waste even a day subscribing to what someone thinks you can do versus knowing what you can do. And that's like the switch.
Investing in yourself is the metric to change your whole ecosystem. You know, empowering yourself, executing your ideas.
Like if you just force yourself to do the one project that you believe in and then it exists, that's going to be the one that's going to like lead you on your career, not necessarily the practical ones. So with that, I'm done.